Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to the respected evaluators and also to everyone who is present today. So my name is Zulfa Nazifa binti Azhar. Me and my team, we are representing KPTM Kota Baru, and it is our pleasure to share with you our innovation paper titled Cebu App Mobile-Assisted Heritage Tourism Education. So over the next few minutes, we will walk you through on how this innovation seeks to strengthen English proficiency and learner motivation through culturally embedded mobile-based learning through Cebu App. My fellow audience, English has long been recognized as a very critical language in Malaysian higher education, not only for academic success, but also for future employability, particularly in industries like tourism and hospitality. I would say that tourism and hospitality definitely, they need English language in order for them to thrive. But then, despite this, many English as a second language classrooms still rely on traditional approaches, such as rote memorization, grammar translation, and also passive lectures. So what happened? So what happened is they often taught the students who may know grammar rules, but they lack the ability to actually use English meaningfully in their real life situation. So students, they easily lose interest because the content feels very distant from their daily lives. And as a result, both motivation and their proficiency level remain as low as possible. And this is why innovation is urgently needed as an intervention, because language learning should not only prepare students to pass exams, but also to communicate confidently in professional and also social contexts. By leveraging mobile technology and integrating it with Malaysia's own rich cultural and heritage content, we are very hopeful to provide students, particularly students who are taking diploma tourism and management, to have a more engaging, contextual, and motivating learning experience, which supports our outcome-based education that we have today. All right, my fellow audience, let's dive deeper into the problem that still persists within our society today. So, traditional instruction in Malaysian ESL classrooms, they tend to focus on textbooks and generic materials very heavily. Okay, so while these resources, they may cover all of the needed essentials, for example, like grammar and vocabulary, studies show that they often fail to sustain long-term engagement. In fact, according to the Malaysian Education Blueprint from 2013 and 2025, more than 60% of employers actually report that graduates lack adequate communication skills, particularly in English. So, obviously, there is something wrong with our system today, and it highlights the gap between what is taught in classrooms and what is required in real-world professional contexts. So this disconnect is even more problematic for students in fields such as tourism and hospitality, because this is where English is not just an academic requirement but a workplace necessity. So one of the research that I found is from World Travel and Tourism Council 2022. It reported that tourism contributed 13% to Malaysia's GDP. Okay, including frontline workers, especially those in hotels, travel agencies, and also cultural sites. They are very much expected to communicate effectively with international visitors. However, a study by OMA done back in 2019, it found that many diploma in tourism management students, they still struggle to actually use English beyond memorized phrases with actual limited ability to explain Malaysia's unique heritage, such as batik making, homestays, or even traditional cuisines to foreign tourists. So, we can definitely see the gap that is happening and the problem that keep on arising um, the things that happen in a classroom. Okay, so students, they may pass their proficiency courses, but they are not fully equipped to transfer what they learn into authentic professional setting. So in order to address this, there is actually a pressing need for contextualized and culturally relevant materials which allow students to actually learn English through familiar and meaningful content, while also preparing them for the communicative demands of their future careers. While we were researching for this innovation, we found a very two key two interesting key theories. Okay, so number one is outcome-based education model as well as social-cultural theory. So when we merge these two models together, it comes the Cebu app comes in. So that is why we have this particular Venn diagram to actually show the relationship between the two key theories and how it plays a very pivotal role in making sure that Cebu app is a success. So first, let me introduce to you the outcome-based education models and why do we need this key theory in this particular innovation. So number one is that OBE model, it ensures the instruction, okay? It ensures that the instruction is goal-oriented, learner-centered, and it is aligned with real-world tasks. So it shifts the question from what should we teach to what should students be able to do by the end of this course. So we think that this shift is particularly crucial in raising proficiency levels because it requires not only educators, okay, it requires the whole system of education to actually design tasks and also assessments that mirror actual authentic communication needs in the real world. Right. So second, and equally important, is a social cultural theory by Lev Vygotsky. So this theory, it emphasizes that learning is a social process, okay, shaped by interaction, okay, shaped by its people, the cultural tools, and also the context. So in fact, Vygotsky argued that language is best learned when it is connected to meaningful cultural activity. It means that some people, they may reject or fully utilize the language because the culture is just culturally irrelevant to them. So in the Malaysian ESL context, this means that students are more likely to internalize English if it is taught through practices they already value. For example, like storytelling, okay, so like festivals, okay, traditional crafts, and also tourism experiences. And research basically supports this. So studies show that when language instruction incorporates cultural and also contextual relevance, okay, learners can demonstrate a higher engagement, deeper comprehension, and stronger retention of vocabulary skills. And in other words, it makes learning not just mechanical, it becomes meaningful. And that is particularly what we are lacking in an ESL classroom today. They think that English is a chore and they have to learn it just to get an A. But actually, they have to learn it because it is very much meaningful for their life. So by combining OBE model and also social-cultural theory, the Cebu app creates a very powerful synergy by combining these two models together. So it places English learning within a cultural setting where students already understand. Okay? So while ensuring that outcomes are measurable, relevant, and also directly transferable to real-world communication. So this combination both enhances both motivation and also proficiency level, which may address the long-standing gaps in ESL instruction.
Next, background of the product. Cebu app. The name Cebu is derived from a combination of the Malay words sejarah and budaya, which mean history, culture, and heritage respectively. This name directly reflects the app focus on promoting and exploring historical and culture sites.
So we have come to arrive to significance of the innovation. So why is it very significant? Number one is that it seeks to bridge language learning with Malaysia's heritage and tourism. We are not just here to teach a language, but we are also trying to reinforce Malaysian national identity and also cultural pride. And more importantly, this approach does not only support the Ministry of Higher Education's push for outcome-based education, but also our cultural pride. So OBE here, it emphasizes on learner-centeredness and also real-world outcomes. In other words, students should not only know English, but also be able to do English by applying it effectively in real communicative contexts. So the innovation that we propose here, the Cebu app, directly addresses this. It aligns with OBE by ensuring that learning
So, for
outcomes
the
are
functions,
measurable,
the Cebu
practical,
Travel
and
app
connected
is
to
designed to
authentic
allow users
communication.
to upload and write the
And at the same
content.
time,
The
because the
app is
content
a
is
platform
culturally
where users
familiar,
can
students
contribute
they are
their
more
own content, much
naturally
like
they
a
are more
social media
motivated to learn.
platform or
When
a
learners
travel blog.
see their
This
own
content
heritage
isn't just
reflected in the
text
classroom,
and
they
photo,
feel
it
a
is
sense of ownership
specifically
and also
designed to include
national pride,
VR
which also
elements.
increases
It's create new world
intrinsic
experiences via
motivation.
VR
And as a
technology.
result,
The apps
learner
enable
engagement
users to
happens,
upload
learner
their own
motivation
content,
happens.
specifically
Thus,
VR places,
students'
and
English
write descriptive
proficiency
text,
level
making them
also
active
get
contributor
higher.
to the app database. For the research segmentations, students located in Malaysia, especially those studying in the state with the app feature destination, example college near Melaka, Penang, Kelantan or Terengganu. And we focus student pursuing a diploma in tourism management. This is very specific and high value target groups. Other students such as those in history or hospitality and English language program are also relevant to join. Next, for findings and implication for ECL teaching, application technology make learning more engaging. Active learning, students are no longer passive receipt of information. They are become active participants, exploring and creating the content. This aligns with the modern pedagogical theory that emphasizes a student-centered approach, promoting critical thinking and self-directed learning, and also it enhances the engagement and motivation. The interactive game nature of VR and application technology makes learning more engaging. It can significantly boost student motivation by transforming a potential dry topic into a exciting visual field trip, which in turn leads to improve their memory retention and also learning outcomes. And it is a new approach beyond the textbook for pedagogical. These products move English second language interaction away from static, text-based learning towards a communicative and experiential approach. Instead of simply reading about Malaysian culture or memorizing vocabulary from a list, students can immerse themselves in a virtual environment. So, for the conclusion, based on the discussion of the Cebu Travel app and its integration into a English as a second language ESL teaching, a clear conclusion emerged. The fusion of technology, culture, and well-defined educational framework is a powerful catalyst for modern language learning. Integrating a product like the Cebu Travel apps align perfectly with the principle of outcome-based education (OBE) and the modern language policy. It is proof that technology, when thoughtfully applied to culture content, can provide an effective, motivating, and scalable solution for advancing English proficiency among students. Let's take a look for the video project.
At the main page, the user will have two different options, which are sign in and log in. Okay, to proceed, the user must have a registered account of the Cebu Travel app. Next, for the login session, the user has to enter an email address and password. So, for the first timer user, it is required for you to sign in for a new account. Okay, but for those who already registered, you can directly log in your email address and password. For me, I already have an account, so I insert my email and then my password. So, we will log in into the app. So this is the menu of the app page, which are made of various states in Malaysia: Kelantan, Melaka, Penang and Terengganu. So we focus on 4 different states where users can choose the best heritage and culture places to visit. For example, if user click on Penang, it will bring out information about the heritage sites in Penang, such as Penang Peranakan Mansion. So now we click on Penang Peranakan Mansion to view the details. So the details are about the place itself. We also have the best culture cuisine with halal certificate restaurant such as Bihua Cafe. So here you can see the location, description and tips about the restaurant itself. Essentially, the user can choose their favorite location that they have visited in this section, and it will appear in the favorite section of this app. Furthermore, the user also can upload destination that they have visited in the section. Okay, for example, I will choose Penang. So I will enter the place of the name of the place, upload pictures, locations and description of the place, such as include tips, an ideal place where to park your car, and then lastly I will push create. Lastly, last but not least, we also have the profile information of the user. So here user can insert, change or edit their username as well as update their email address. I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening.